Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 Pro replay cast. Just adjusting the audio a little bit there. Yeah, it is good to be back. That's all I can say. It's been far too long since I was able to cast some Starcraft 2. And yeah, we've got what I think is going to be a great match here today. And yeah, I'm just glad to be casting it, man. Like, it is hard to make time to do videos once it's not a habit. So basically, I just need to be in the habit of any time I got like a free 20 minutes. It's like, why not cast some Starcraft? I have been watching some Starcraft, watching the DreamHack qualifiers and such like that. Those are always a blast to keep an eye on. Catching GSL VODs and stuff whenever I can. But yeah, we've got ourselves a good match, and enough of that rambling for now. We've got what's going to be a just brilliant match, I think. It's going to be Cure in the bottom left, and taking on Cure is going to be ShoWTimE, who I believe is on Team Big, I want to say. Cure, last I checked, was on Dragon Phoenix Gaming, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, we're on the map Undercity from the Team Liquid map contest. This is from that cool tournament that was run. And yeah, that means it's going to be a unique map. It might be a little bit scrappy. I'm already looking at this thing. It appears to be a 4-player spawn map, as all the sides are identical, and based on the fact that Cure's sending an SDV to the north, so yeah, actually a 4-player map, which it's been a long time since we saw one of those. There's also triple mineral walls over here. And yeah, really unique map already, it looks like, and that's why I think this is just going to be great. Scrappy Starcraft is the best Starcraft, I think, to watch. And so yeah, now we've got Cure's SDV. It kind of wasted a few steps going to the north there, but it's not like he knew. So now he is going to identify where ShoWTimE spawned. I believe he saw the probe there, so now he's turning around, knowing the adept timings. Cure is very good at that. So just wants to get that SCV to safety. And yeah, just an awesome TvP getting started here. I was wondering if this would be a big macro game, because we do have a large map, which does lead to macro games. We've got Cure confidently throwing up a third command center in about as much of the corner of the corners in his base as possible. And then just going for extra racks behind it. So that sort of standard few barracks, 3 CC opening from the Terran player. Cure dropping his mule there, transferring STV is just going to have to raise those depots, keep the adepts out of your base, and he does do a fine job doing that. He's also got this STV still out on the map, so maybe going to go for a proxy. That STV is suspicious. He's got an eBay on the way. There's no way this is going to be a factory, right? But maybe it is. What's this SCV up to? Who knows? It could not be up to anything other than just patrolling as it does. But then we see Cure's actually getting an eBay on the way, so we'll expect to see a very quick +1. He still has yet to go for a third barracks. But he is doing a good job keeping ShoWTimE in the dark. ShoWTimE's adept has got up scouted just the reactor. As far as ShoWTimE knows, he could be getting all in or something. And so yeah, he is in the dark in regards to that. This Oracle coming across the map will give him the scouting vision that he needs. He's keeping a very positive adept presence. Cure, though, actually going for a rather quick turret, despite 0 scouting on ShoWTimE, so just playing it blind, playing it safe, getting +1, getting 1 turret. That's going to protect his main base from the Oracle. He's now got himself a bunker on the way as well, at the front, which I just love. Gotta have that safety bunker. And then that SCV that was patrolling is actually just going in for a delayed scout to spot what ShoWTimE's up to. Not that there's much of a secret, seeing as how the Oracle was revealed. It's okay, it's a Stargate, and then whatever is going to be the follow-up. Yeah. So far, the map Undercity between ShoWTimE and Cure does look to be delivering, though. And the Oracles are out for ShoWTimE. He is stopping it too. These Marines have to be careful. They really got to be careful, seeing as how those Adepts were out there. Okay, now let's take a look here. There is Stimpack on the way for Cure. Factory's on the way. And then, yeah, just standard Terran macro up behind the 3rd CC. Takes a while to get that train rolling, but then, takes a while to get that train rolling, but then, yeah, just once it does, it becomes mighty powerful. So ShoWTimE just trying to keep his presence on his opponent, but so far, only one SCV has died this game, that sacrificial scouting one. ShoWTimE, though, still being very active with his units. We take a look here. Kier's starting to push out a little bit. He's got stim, so now he feels very confident with the bio. He's got that big daddy marauder surrounded by his, I'm gonna say, a harem of marines, it looks like. Okay, then charge is on the way here for ShoWTimE. RoboBay on the way, so standard Protoss follow-up. I mean, ShoWTimE's got himself a healthy economy too. I didn't actually check the timing of that 3rd base, but it was pretty decent, I think. And then combat shields on the way here. Double medivacs are being produced now by Kier. And then just all the extra barracks on the way. Once the medivacs are out, that really gives the Protoss the power to push out and move out. ShoWTimE added on a 3rd Oracle, which is quite interesting. Means he's going to be looking to go for some actual harassment with these Oracles. So he only went for 2 to start with. Then I believe he added the 3rd on later, if I'm not mistaken. And that's basically ShoWTimE saying, I'm not going to get much done with these Oracles unless I commit to a 3rd. Then I can probably grab some SCVs. We take a look right now, though. Here's starting to really push out on the map behind this 3rd CC. This bio army has just grown and grown. Medivacs are going to be joining up with the army. Combat shield's about to finish up. +1's already done. So Kira going to be looking for some damage done, but great tag by ShoWTimE on the Protoss army, or on the Terran army, pardon me, but then ShoWTimE loses one of those Oracles that he made. ShoWTimE actually started going into Phoenix behind this, so wanting to maybe play Phoenix Colossus or just a 1 Phoenix to shut down those air units, as of course Blink is quite a ways off. So we'll keep tabs on if ShoWTimE's going to make more, and it looks like he will be. Double Forge, Phoenix Colossus. This game is just these two guys just powering up, just going full-on Super Saiyan. As, yeah, we're just waiting to see if Kier's able to get a blow done. But ShoWTimE is one of those incredible Protoss when it comes to playing defensive, and he's hard to get a blow off on, particularly on a map like Undercity, which there's so much room, and how he's basically just been creeping on Kier this entire game, knowing exactly where his units are. There's another revelation. It's non-stop, the revelation. Then we see, oh, that Marine gets sent packing into a body bag as that Zealot just destroys him. A 4th base is on the way for ShoWTimE. It's interesting to see this mineral wall here, which would take quite a while to mine out, but we'll see if ShoWTimE is going to take that as his 5th, as it does appear on this map that you do actually, if you want to secure a 5th, you got to mine out one of these 2 mineral walls. And that's your choice as a player, I suppose. So getting up a 5th base on this map actually looks quite difficult if we look at it, because that 5th base looks rather exposed and would really stretch you out. We see the Phoenix, the Oracle's going to be shutting down this double medivac drop. Everything's going to go down. One of the Oracles did die for that, but quite a nice cleanup by ShoWTimE. He's got his 4th base on the way. Kira behind this has yet to go into his own 4th base. As I say that, he throws it up, realizing that he's probably not going to kill ShoWTimE. But he is committing hard onto his upgrades. He's got his 2-2 on the way, ship weapons on the way, and a 2nd starport is on the way, which I love. I love when Terrans confidently make large Viking fleets to basically just destroy everything. Protoss is like, oh yeah, Terran, what Terrans are really going to commit to 12 Vikings or something like that? Kier could very well be that Terran this game. Two Colossus, a little bit exposed, but with a battery, a cannon, and then all the Phoenix. Yeah, they're fine. There's no way Kier's getting anything done there. Then we see the Observer for ShoWTimE as being a threat, as revealing his opponent's position. Now ShoWTimE is going to be looking to get some damage done on his own with this Prism, but I believe he thinks that it was spotted by that Marine, so he turns it around for now. Templar Archives is done. Psystorm is not researched. ShoWTimE is just morphing Archons, so neglecting to get the Psystorm, which I think is quite interesting, as it looks like ShoWTimE does have the room to get that up. So we'll see if he gets that up at some point, or if he's probably just going to make a Disruptor or two as he throws up a 2nd Robo, a 3rd Robo. I actually find that quite likely, and then a Dark Templar Archives, or a Dark Shrine on the way, pardon me. The 3 robos right next to each other, I think is nuts for ShoWTimE. This is a lot of tech to put in one basket. Still though, it's right at the center of his base, so it should be pretty hard for Kier to get anything done. And yeah, both players are pretty much maxed out. We're 10 minutes into this game, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're like a crowd waiting for blood, but I'm sure it's gonna happen at some point. Once it gets going, I'll try and keep up. ShoWTimE's out on the map with his Phoenix, hoping to catch some drops or something, but all in all, it does not seem possible for either player to get a kill move yet, or even remotely soon, as there's been very, very minimal amounts of damage done this game so far. And just the macro has been insane. There has been a little bit of losses on Kier's side of the map, but then you're like, oh, he's on 79 SCVs, he's getting his 4th base up, and he's already got 2 extra CCs on the way, to boot. So yeah, I find that quite interesting. I'm interested if Kier's going to make one of these a planetary to really lock this base down from the DTs and such, because those DTs, when ShoWTimE does get going with them, will be a significant threat to the Terran player. We see ShoWTimE is starting to mine out that mineral wall. That way he will be able to expand towards his 5th base, as this is around the time which you do want to be getting up a 5th base. It's not the end of the world if you don't for, say, probably 2 minutes or so, but anything past that, and I think you probably want to get up a 3rd base. I mean a 5th base, pardon me. Saying 3rd shows what I know. We take a look here. Colossus almost gets pounced on by Kier, but then the Zealots and Phoenix with their mass lift actually keeps that totally okay. We'll see if any of the drop units can grab the Colossus, but no, ShoWTimE expertly pulls them back, doesn't want to lose anything, and he doesn't. So far, just taken yet another pretty good trade. 20 Zealots actually died. Were those all in that fight? If so, that's kind of nuts. Still, though, things seem to be looking pretty darn good here. We see Kier. Oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to drop on those disruptors? ShoWTimE realizes the vulnerability there, and then Kier nopes out. He thought about it, though, and that's what I love about Starcraft 2. Starcraft players thirst for an opportunity like that. They're like, yes, let me drop on 4 disruptors. I will do it. I got the stones. Now we take a look. The 5th base is floating over for Kier. This one is just going to be an orbital. So I am interested to see if we will be seeing, good DT harassment. The DTs, I mean, have already been warped in, but ShoWTimE's waiting for a lot, and now he is coming to this base. The orbitals can just lift off, but these SCVs are going to be in a lot of trouble, and this is where we're going to see some real damage done this game. 11 SCVs. God, the DTs are just monsters, as this base is just desolate of workers now. It's not looking too good here for Kier. He pulls back a lot of units. He does grab, or he EMPs some of those DTs. He might grab a few of them on the way out, but then there's plenty more at his natural. 36 SCVs have died just like that. Kier's worker count has just been halved. In about 30 seconds, he just lost half of his workers, just between 2 bases, really. And yeah, that's why I was wondering if we'd be seeing a planetary fortress from Kier at one of these bases. Even though the PF doesn't necessarily keep things safe, as of course DTs can kill planetaries pretty darn easily, if we're being honest, but it's kind of better than nothing in a sense. So we'll see if Kier does adjust his play there, how he's gonna try and keep his units safe. He's replacing the SCVs. He's definitely got room for that. I mean, he is a, how many orbitals? 4 orbital command Terran, with another one about to finish up. So he is gonna be in quite, I mean, he's definitely in a position to replace these SCVs. What ShoWTimE has done here is bought himself even more time in a game which he's already very comfortable sitting back. He's just throwing up lots of static defense at this base. I'd honestly love to see another pylon, some batteries here. ShoWTimE's got the money for it, and then, yeah, 6 base on the way for ShoWTimE too. Zealots hitting this base, but Planetarian Viking is going to keep that safe. We see ShoWTimE's pushing down towards the bottom side. In a direct fight, though, he is hesitant to take on his opponent's army, as EMPs are a serious threat. That 3-3 bio, combined with EMP, is quite a threat to the Protoss. ShoWTimE really will have to rely on those disruptors, which he's got plenty of. But disruptors are quite volatile, because Terrans are always looking for an opportunity to just dive on top of them. And so ShoWTimE's got to keep that in mind. That's why we see him being kind of passive here. And yeah, Kier's rebuilt his economy. He's up to 65 workers, which is a decent amount. It's allowing him to have a higher army supply, which you sometimes need. If you're going to go for one of those big pounces on the Protoss force. And we'll see if that's going to be the case for Kier, as he is up about... Oh, he'll be up about 20 army supply compared to his opponent, which is not insignificant. These ZTs still being a total pain for the Protoss player, though, or for the Terran, pardon me. And this is just such a nightmare for Terrans, even the best of the best to deal with, like Kier. Okay, now we take a look here. Ghost killing the Phoenix. Vikings, Ghosts. A good army here for Kier. That's no joke. ShoWTimE. This is Disruptors, Colossus out. The Disruptors really are the dissuading thing to keep the Terran back. EMP is always going to hit the Protoss army, but the question is, can the Disruptors get the big hits they need if Kier decides to take a fight? But ShoWTimE is quite far out right now. We're zoomed all the way out, as we realize really the true scale of this map. But oh my god, more DTs hitting space down to the bottom right. This is where Kier starts pulling out his hair. This bio could actually be in risk of the DTs. They do get pushed away, but I mean, ShoWTimE's loaded. He can keep doing this again and again. Kier himself isn't in a bad economic position. He's even got a fusion core on the way, potentially Liberators. ShoWTimE is bullying back his opponent. I mean, Kier, yeah, he's taking damage here, but I honestly don't feel too bad for him, as he's got himself a bank. He's still got himself a good army supply. I don't think ShoWTimE's going to be able to push in here. I mean, we just saw ShoWTimE warp in like 10 Stalkers or something like that. The Disruptors will try and get some good shots, but Stalkers are really inefficient army supply-wise. The Disruptors are efficient army supply-wise, though, as we see 3 Ghosts get owned by a Nova. We'll see if Kier is going to try and push this further, push the issue. But for now, though, he's just going to try and re-secure up his 5th base, keep his economy going. He has not hit that critical point, which things get out of control for the Terran. If, say, he loses another base to the DTs, which he very well could do, as ShoWTimE's got, by God, that's like 15 DTs there, looking to just destroy everything. It's an amount of DTs that they can even kill a Terran army, and if the Terran's not paying attention for half a second, the DTs just blink on top and kill everything. DTs still moving around. Looks like now they're going to reveal themselves as they kind of just join up with the main army. ShoWTimE's going to go. He goes on top of the army. There is that big blink. The DTs actually get some good swipes off before grouping up with the main army. What's ShoWTimE going to do? Is he going to make a bunch of Archons? No, he's going to keep running with these DTs. This section of the army does get found. These DTs will mainly be cleaned up this time. Only one of them was able to blink away. We now see Kier diving on top of the army of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE really without any Colossus left, as the last one goes down there. Disruptors have fired out Novas, but there we see ShoWTimE's inability to really take on Kier in a direct fight. Another DT gets killed off. Resources lost. ShoWTimE is behind. Kier has been taking the better trades, as throwing away 15 DTs is quite expensive. ShoWTimE's got some good work done after losing 47 Dark Templar this game. But, man, these Invisible Men are doing work. ShoWTimE just tried to warp in a few DTs, but beautiful save there by the PF. 5 is not enough to kill a planetary fortress, believe it or not. With an SCV repair, anyway. Without an SCV repair, maybe? I don't know the answer to that question, but all in all, Kier is doing a pretty good job dealing with this so far. More DTs going to go down. Those guys are expensive, so ShoWTimE's going to try and make an opportunity at least out of it, pushing on in, but he's not going to get that much done. We see even the Prism might get picked off. No, not quite. Kier pulls back away from the army, fearing the Disruptor, but then we see ShoWTimE warping in 12 more Zealots. And you got to ask yourself, is that really what you need, ShoWTimE? Look at his army. It's not that good, guys. He's got 22 Zealots, 17 Stalkers. It's really all just about the Disruptors here. ShoWTimE needs to take a good fight. He needs some beautiful Disruptor hits where he needs to fight a small section of Kier's army, but this looks like enough supply here for Kier to take a fight. Look at that, EMP hits the Stalkers. That's half their total hit points gone. And then we see Kier coming in from this side too, now going to be getting himself a beautiful surround that's going to help nullify the effectiveness of the Disruptors. In comes the Terran collapsing on top of the Protoss army. ShoWTimE taking some big losses as he's retreating. Is there any Novas that can try and save him? Not really. Some connections do get off. They're pretty decent, but then Kier not breaking off the pursuit yet. More disruptors are coming down for the Protoss player, but Kier has been picking off so many Protoss units. He's honestly fine taking a few big disruptor hits here, and he's doing a beautiful job targeting down those disruptors. ShoWTimE's fighting with mainly Stalkers at this point in the game against a 3-3 Terran Bio Ghost army with 12 Medivacs to support it. This is not looking too hot here for the Protosses. ShoWTimE, he's been burning his bank, he's been throwing it away. Kier's got himself a decent enough economy to keep replacing those units. Kier is up on army supply still, and he's been taking good fights so far, so I don't see that really changing. ShoWTimE making 3 disruptors at a time, but by God, this is just 21 Zealots, 17 Stalkers, and only 3 disruptors. ShoWTimE cannot fight this. I really don't know what he should do at this point, but he's got to do something. Yeah, whether now would be the time for a big DT counterattack. I mean, he's warped in so many Zealots and stuff though, that he doesn't really have any. Kier has been open on the right side, so maybe ShoWTimE did need to try and manage that. I'm honestly unsure. Or, yeah, whether... I don't know what ShoWTimE needs. It is tricky for the Protoss to go up against a Terran who's this good at managing his army, who's this good at taking those fights, because all of a sudden the disruptors, which are basically the main leg for your army to stand on, they're not getting the moves they need. And this honestly might be part of this unique map here, Undercity. There's so much room for Kier to maneuver around ShoWTimE's army. Like, ShoWTimE's been putting himself out in the big open, which does not play well to disruptors. And then, yeah, Kier just going to be getting up yet another base here. He was even trying to secure this location up too, but his economy is still going. He's maxed out. He's building up more of his bank. Protoss army has been identified going down towards the south location. In comes the rest of the Terran force, though, arriving just in time to prevent ShoWTimE coming on in. Disruptor Nova goes on out, but look at ShoWTimE's army. It is not good enough here. I really don't know what he needs, whether he needs Immortals or Archons or something. I mean, it's obviously very hard because of the EMPs like we just saw there, but by gosh, they're just not even fair. The EMPs hitting this Protoss force. It really makes ShoWTimE Stalkers useless, and that's why he needs something else. He's getting air upgrades. I'm not sure what his plan is. Maybe eventually like carriers or something, which is an option, but I really don't know. We see ShoWTimE does get a nice move here, picks off that orbital command, then picks off the planetary fortress. Nice move there. Here out on the map, gonna have to avoid these DTs. This seems like ShoWTimE getting some momentum back in his favor. Potentially going for a nice 1-2 punch here. Picks off one base. Now taking a fight in the center. There's DTs coming on in. They're actually going to help out in this fight. The scan will reveal some of them. The disruptors are quite vulnerable here. EMP's hitting some of them. Nova's going off, but so far none really connecting on this section of the left. All in all, that was a pretty darn good fight there by ShoWTimE, though the DT is actually being used in the fight, not to harass. And both players take some big losses, but Kier did take quite a big economic hit there, losing his base towards the left. He's replacing it right away. This DT moving on in. Single DT can sometimes be as effective as many, as it's just going to shut down that location. ShoWTimE maybe realizes that Kier is in a bit of a troublesome economic position and is actually going to be trying to hit this base. And if he can knock this base out, he can potentially win this game. So while ShoWTimE had lost the momentum there for a while, things are really now going his way. And this Terran force is not as big as it should be. You might look at the army supply and say he's only behind 10, but yeah, he's got 15 medivacs, and all of a sudden there's just not much for Kier. ShoWTimE picks off the base, he gets the GG, and really that was just after a great fight that he took a minute or two ago. Like, I mean, look at this. Up to this point, before ShoWTimE found himself in this location and got this base, the players were even on supply. Kier was up 30 army supply. So this is a hell of a fight by ShoWTimE. I'm honestly not sure how this happens. It's just the right side for Kier's army fights before the rest gets in. It even looks like a pretty decent surround, but there's some big disruptor connections. They do get some big shots off, and then this side, the left side, was forced back while the right side was basically butchered. And then all of a sudden, Kier's just down on army supply. He lost his base to the left, so that's already the one blow to his economy that he can really handle. Then ShoWTimE realizes that if he kills that base off, he's basically got the game. And then, yeah, ShoWTimE, well, he did take some bad trades this game. He lost a lot more resources lost. He did eventually get the kill move that he needed. What a game between these two players, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning on in. If you made it to the very end, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Consider becoming a YouTube member if you do want to support the channel. I'll try and cast another game as soon as I can. Might be a while, but yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. I'll see you next time. My name is LaughNgamez.